Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man who is aged 38 years old. I came here to South Africa when I was still back home in Zim. I used to be a mechanic, a diesel mechanic. That was when I came here to South Africa. So, since I did not have any proper documentation at all, I started working on this other farm. The owner of that farm, he also had a contract with a mine. So I became a diesel plant fitter. He had trained me to do that as well. The only painful part is that when you are a foreigner living in a foreign land, it does not matter how hard you work. At the end of the day, no one will even appreciate the work that you do financially. You keep on struggling. There were so many times when I would always be on the road, sleep on the road. Others who were South Africans, who were also diesel mechanics like I was, what would happen is that when they were on the road, they will get booked into good guest houses. But as for me, it would say, just look for a truck stop, just look for a lay-by where you can just sleep. Otherwise, you'll be wasting a lot of money. I would be called to go to this mine to fix this equipment. And when I would arrive at that mine, I would see that there will be other South Africans that will be doing the same job that I would have been called to do. And you would look at them and you will tell that these people, they are earning a lot of money, more than I can ever earn, even in 5 months. You won't even believe that the mines that I have been to around Gauteng, I used to go and fix different machines there, but I was only getting paid 800 rands a month. Just imagine being called out to a mine, fixing some machines that some people at that mine won't be able to even touch it, not knowing how to repair it. Then those people will be earning tens and thousands of rands, and as for you, you will be the least paid, 800 rand a month. And my boss, he would say, whenever you go to that mine, I do not want you to talk with anyone about the working conditions that we have, because he was paid into millions of rands to fix some of the equipment that I would go to fix there. I knew that this was what was happening, and when I would complain, when you would see me complaining, you would say, but you are just a farm worker. Why do you want to compare yourself with citizens that are working at the mine? Don't you know that the mine pays more than working on the farm? The more that I would complain, he would quickly pull me out of the mine. Then he would return me back to the farm, where I would be looking after the cattle, driving the tractors, so much as to confuse me. I never understood the type of a job that I was doing on that farm. Fixing trucks, fixing TLBs, fixing tractors, anything. I was the one who was doing everything, but I was not being paid for all the work that I was doing because I was not having proper documents. That was what was taking me backwards, because he would say, how can I give you a lot of money when you do not have a proper banking account? You do not even have proper documents. You can't even open a bank account. So how can I give you a lot of money? I do not keep cash here with me. There was a time when I had complained about this situation, and I said that it is far much better for me to return back to Zim, because how can a diesel plant fitter be earning 800 rands a month? I went to college. It costed my parents a lot of money for me to get all of this experience. I needed to take care of them. How could I do that when I was earning peanuts? So some of the people were making a lot of money, but you would tell me that I cannot pay you a lot because you do not even have proper documents. I finally told myself that it was far much better for me to stop working for this guy. I started working for this other Nigerian, and whilst I was working for that Nigerian, I saw that there were other things that were happening. The money that I was earning there, it was okay, but I quickly realized that this was a chop shop where cars that were questionable, that had been hijacked, were being brought into the night, strip them, and then the next morning it will be more like a brand new car. We used to strip a car in a matter of hours. It will be 3 mechanics, 2 panel beaters, and guys will be working non-stop, and you would not even recognize the car after it would have been stripped within 2 hours maximum. And I said, I cannot work here anymore, for I am a Christian. I do not want to be part of this syndicate. I started working for another man who had a panel beating shop. He was a Zimbabwean guy. Knowing people from my country, I knew that this guy was going to take advantage of me. He would refuse to pay me. He was friends with this other South African police officer who used to come and threaten me when I would want my money. I was afraid, and I was tired of being threatened, of being deported and being reported to the Home Affairs, and I said it is far much better that I return back as a poor man to my own country. For South Africa, he had refused to give me the good fruits of it. But something interesting had happened. Whilst I was working for that Nigerian who had that chop shop, he used a lot of charms. He had this idol that was always in his office. The police would come to vet some of those scrapped cars to see if they were not stolen cars, and the parts as well. There was this other Toyota Fortuner that had been brought. It was brand new. I saw that this car, it was a hijacked car, probably stolen. It was still there when this raid happened. A convoy of police officers with their vehicles, they came and they asked for the papers of that vehicle because it was just standing there. Why was it going to be broken down for its parts when it was still brand new? They never asked anything about that car. They only said, where are the papers for this vehicle? Then one of the police officers who was standing next to the Nigerian guy, he was yawning, and the Nigerian guy went and touched him on the shoulder and said, officer, how about we go into my office? This is what he used to do. Whenever a police officer would come to his chop shop to investigate, he would greet you with one hand and put one hand on your shoulder and say, how about we go to my office? Once that was done, you won't be able to ask him any questions. You will just feel drowsy and lazy to ask important questions until you are gone. That is what happened to those police officers. There were a lot for them to be bribed. It was a convoy of police officers that had came to raid that shop. And then I realized that Juju, Nigerian Juju, it is for real. Those police officers, they went away, and this made me to be very interested when I was still in South Africa. Unfortunately, a lot of South African sangomas had promised me great wealth, but nothing ever happened. I returned back home and I started working. I now had my own small auto shop. We were fixing your diesel cars. This man, I had studied with him in college. He was now in Botswana. When he came back, he was driving a very beautiful Ford Ranger. I said, lucky you, and he told me that he was married to a Botswanan woman, and he was now a resident in Botswana, and he was going to assist me before he would return back to that country. Unfortunately, he came to my shop when I was not there. You know the spirit of poverty, when it does not want you to get connected to people that can assist you in life. I later contacted him and he told me that he had already left Zim. He was back in Botswana. He said, here, take this number. He sent me the number on WhatsApp and he said, speak with that old man. He's the one who helped me. Just tell him that I am the one who gave you the numbers. Otherwise, he's not going to respond to you. I then started speaking with the old traditional healer. The man told me that he was willing to assist me if I had enough money. I went to his consultation room and I was told that as for the money I have to give him, which was equivalent to 7,500 US dollars, in which I did not have that money. He said, if you do not have this money, I'm going to speak with my friend in Mozambique who is in need of a human body part. I was like, hey, a human body part? I do not have that. Where am I going to get it? He said, you are a man. You have to make a plan. Are you able even to trade one of your body part for wealth? go and think about it, because I had said, yes, anything, you can even take my pennies. And when a man has suffered to such an extent that he wants even his manhood to be cut off, it means that poverty would have made you to suffer so much, because even a poor man, that is the last thing that he wants to lose his pennies for. That is the pride of being a man. So it said, go and think about it. Brother Nashi, at that time, when I decided that poverty had affected me so much, I had lost my wife, I had lost my kids because of poverty, I said, it is far much better to lose one of my body part, as Jesus said that it is far much better for you to go to paradise missing one of your eye or your leg than for you to suffer in hell with both of your legs. I believe that paradise is here on earth and hell is also here on earth. When we die, your whole world, your universe dies. Maybe you will go and exist in another universe. So if paradise is here on this earth, it is far much better for you to lose one eye and you become rich, then you enjoy your paradise, than to suffer here on earth. So me and that traditional healer, we had an arrangement. I was taken to Mozambique, where I was told that I was going to lose one of my arm, and I chose the left one, since I told myself that it was far much better for me to lose the left arm, because I am a right-handed person, so it was far much better. I was then given some herbs, and I was told that my left arm, it was going to rot, it was going to start decaying. After I had drank those charms, and some few needles were inserted into my left arm, and then it became so painful and I went to sleep. When I had woken up, it was really itchy. Like this itchiness, it was not on top of the skin, but underneath the skin. I felt like I needed to scratch just underneath the skin. So what started happening was that each and every time when I would scratch, then my skin was peeling off and I could not stop. I was like a person that was possessed. I looked for a stick and I kept on scratching and scratching my skin as it was peeling off. I had been given some charms, so not as to panic, because I even started seeing the veins as the skin was being scratched off. Each and every time when I was busy scratching myself, I would feel pain, and then I would feel itchiness that was not that painful. I scratched all the flesh until it reached the bone. That was when it became so painful, so much that I fainted and collapsed. When I woke up, I saw that I had a big bandage up to the elbow. That is where I lost my arm, up to the elbow, and I was in pain. They took me to the clinic. I could not understand whatever that they were discussing, because they were using Portuguese. I did not understand what they were saying. I was taken to the main hospital, where I stayed for about a month whilst I was receiving the treatment. But here and there, the Sangoma would send someone with some herbs so that I could drink. The pain was no longer that too much. I think it was in my mind, since I had lost my arm. I ended up staying in Mozambique for 6 months. After that, I returned back to my country, Zim. To this very day, I still own my auto shop and I make money. And whenever I want money, I have this altar which I built in my own bedroom. The altar which has some of the flesh that was given to me, which is a representation of my sacrifice that I did to the devil. Whenever I want money, I go to this altar, kneel down, and I pray to the devil, and I tell the devil that I want money. That is my own confession. I want to sacrifice that. I either sacrifice a chicken, remove the feathers, then I leave it there. When I wake up in the morning, the chicken will be eaten by an unseen creature. Next to the altar, there will be some money. I pick up the money. That is what I use. Even if business is slow, I am able to pay my workers in time. Yes, like Jesus said, you need to create your own paradise here on earth. It is far much better to sacrifice one of your eye than for you to go or to suffer here on earth in hell with both of your eyes. How many poverty-stricken people who are listening to this confession, who have both of their arms, yet they are poor. Yet I only have one arm, and I am enjoying as much as I am supposed to enjoy. It is better for you to enjoy money as much as you can judge me. Can you afford what I can afford? If you can, let us go on a vacation for about 80 days and let's see if you will be able to last that long. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother right there. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. What blasphemy he was talking about. There is no such thing. Jesus Christ did not mean that you need to go out there and perform rituals using your body parts. Let us talk about that in the comment section.